Nothing is impenetrable. The key is to make breaking into it more costly than what it's worth. That's the flavor text from Sealed Vault, the new card from the Spaces Between. I think that summarizes pretty well playing Corp right now. Not sure if that'll come up in this game, but I wanted to introduce the video in some interesting way than the usual, so there you go. So this is the start of round 5 of Swiss from the San Rafael Regionals. I'm playing on the left side of the screen with the Tenon deck that you may have seen in other videos. We have Elijah playing on the right side of the screen. And Elijah has Reyna, so I'm going to want to get Econ early. That is going to be a priority here. Luckily I do have some good ice that I can res early. Unfortunately, I got no ice in this opening hand. So that's a strong counter to Reyna, is don't have any ice to res, but it's kind of a counter to yourself too. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. Look for some ice walls would be great. Some early ice walls would be fantastic. Also have Quandary. Both of those would be pretty good to get out early. Build up some Tenon tokens. Just have a good time. And I believe Reyna kept her opening hand. I didn't see a mulligan. Might have been a fast mulligan. Now let's see if I do any better here. Got a successful demo, a hedge fund, and a couple ice. So that's pretty good. NAPD, yeah, 2 Bakus. That's a really good opening hand. I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to install the Bakus and probably hedge fund. Yeah. So now if we get any early runs here, there's a decent chance I'll be able to trigger that successful demo. And Reyna definitely likes to run early to take advantage of her tax. So a click 1 run here, I would not surprise me. Okay, we're going to click 1 run on HQ. I will very happily res the Baku. And that'll be a net of, oh, it cost me 3, so that'll be a net of like 4 credits when I successful demo next turn. That's a pretty good ice to res in this case. Some early in the run. Possibly get me a Tenon token here. The Parasite is not going to do much on the Baku. I'll recall the Baku before it gets killed by Parasite. He can... Yeah, no, I'll definitely be able to get that Baku back if I want it. Probably be worthwhile. So I will successful demo this turn, no doubt. Really like those successful demos. Big advocate of using them as an economy card. I think a lot of people are worried about not being able to trigger them, and that's probably true if you have a purely kind of taxing deck. But if you have a deck that's trying to end the run occasionally and is willing to invest in ending the run, successful demo is a pretty good fit, and just so happens to synergize pretty well with Tenon's ability. So that's why I included 3 of them in my deck. There are certainly times you can't use them, that's going to happen, but overall the economic boost they provide is fantastic. And also they match up really well with the spending pattern that I have in this deck, which is to res everything, res Caprice, use Caprice, keep the runner out at all costs. So, I think though, oh, okay, so it's an R&D run. And so that is a 4 res cost Baku with Reyna and Xanadu. And so he just runs archives. I believe that was an archive run just to prevent a Tenon token. Yeah, so I took a Tenon token. Either, I'm not sure, either he didn't run or no, yeah. You know what, I'm pretty sure I missed a Tenon token on the first turn, which is unfortunate. I don't think he ran archives that last turn, but he did not run it the first turn, but that is too long ago to put a token on there. So Parasite has a token now. I should probably recall it this turn and reinstall it, and hopefully I wasn't silly enough to put some positional ice in front of that Baku on HQ. Like a Chum or an Inazuma, that would have been completely wasted ice. So I probably will be reinstalling it. Well, it depends what the other ice is, but in any case, what I should be doing here is I should be shuffling my hand up a little bit. I'm not saying Elijah is like tracking the cards in my hand or anything, but I think that's something that I don't do that often, and I think it's a smart thing to do, because a good player, I mean, they can look at your hand and, you know, the backside of your hand at least, and see what you're doing. So it's good to shuffle up. It's a bit of advice for myself. I know a lot of other players are constantly shuffling because of that type of reason. So we got another Parasite going down early on that Baku. So he's just clearing out the... I don't know if that's a wise play. I think he'd be better off trying to find a Corroder or whatever his Barrier Breaker is. I mean, it should be Corroder, but maybe he doesn't have a Corroder. Maybe... I don't know what's going on, but that's not the best target to put a Parasite on. Much better to get a Corroder and just pay the 1 credit to get through. It really doesn't cost me too much to recall it and reinstall it, relative to the cost of, the opportunity cost of the Parasite, at least, at the very least. So he just taken some money this turn. If I had another end the run ice here, I might be tempted to try and sneak out an agenda in a remote. Okay, so I'm just cleaning out that Baku again and reinstalling it. It looks like I have a hedge fund, so I should probably play that hedge fund while I still can. If he runs on the Baku again... Yeah, running on that Baku is going to cost that hedge fund, basically. If I res that Baku, it costs 4 credits. So I guess that's maybe a reason to install Parasite on the Baku, is just it's very costly for me to res them right now. It's an extra tax. So he has 6 now, gaining 3 credits, maybe Liberated going down. So we got a Liberated going down. And luckily during this economic buildup, I'm collecting the Tenon tokens. Unfortunately, I have a lot of agendas. Oh, I didn't even realize I had that Trick of Light. That helps solve my agenda flood issue. And so that's 2 points. Points are on the board. Alright, so Elijah's turn was to gain a bunch of money. Okay, so I draw Chum. Really great ice to have at this point in the game, if I have a good place to install it, because it'll almost certainly motivate a Jack out after resing it, in which case I could trigger that successful demo I have in hand. So yeah, the deck has a lot of ways to trigger successful demo between Chum, Inazuma, 2 of each I believe, and 3 Caprice. And then just Ice. Ice will sometimes just keep the runner out because they'll run into it to see what it is and it'll end the run. Trying to justify a successful demo here. Oh, now I really want to play successful demo. I think instead of taking a credit there, I think it would have been worth it to install the Chum on one of the 2 servers. Just to further enable the chances of a Jack out and a failed run and a successful demo. But he really needs to start running here. He can't let me just collect these Tenon tokens for nothing. So I throw the NAPD in archives. That is interesting. And I believe there's at least a shock in there, so not a horrible play. It'll probably be horrible if he gets up to 5 points real quick. Wow, okay, so he gets a couple knights down. And now, this puts a lot of pressure on me. He has 12 credits after that. What he can do here is he can install the knights on HQ and then just siphon me. So I really need to, I don't know, there's not a great play here. Hopefully all 3 of the, if I install ice on either of these servers, probably prioritize HQ at this point. Alright, so I just decided to score out a Brain Trust, Clone Retirement. Which I need to score one of those to win, or it just makes the win a lot more attainable when I score one. So he drew a card, and he's installed both on HQ. And here comes the Siphon. So I probably can't keep him out. Resing the ice might be worthwhile, just as a tax, but he's going to get through, so I'd have to get my money down below 5 to make that worthwhile. Okay, so I decide to res the Grim, which drains most of my money. He could break it really cheap is the bad thing, but it probably demotivates a Siphon. He might still take him. I would like to, like another play there would have been let him Siphon and then just overwrite both ice with another ice to get rid of the knights. But, so he's going to access into siphoning. Yeah, so I could have gotten rid of both knights there. But I have 2 tokens on that ice in front, and I don't want to lose those tokens before I could score another agenda. So unfortunately he did see the successful demo in my hand. That's unfortunate. Well, I think I already successful demoed this game, so it's no surprise. But it's also an upside, because he's going to be really careful not to have an unsuccessful run. So like he probably wouldn't run R&D right now without moving those knights over. I think I want to overwrite those knights, but I think I screwed up on that Grim res. I think that should have costed. I think I had 7 at the time. Maybe I had 9. Maybe that was right. Okay, so my turn is to install and take 2 credits. And if I'm have some luck here, I'll draw another Trick of Light soon, and I could score out that Brain Trust, get it out of my hand. So he's repositioning the knights on R&D, where there are no advancement tokens. And he doesn't get a run-in on that turn. An R&D run might have been a good idea there, just to suppress the token. I probably wouldn't have been able to res anything even. So I have a couple agendas in hand, a Chum, looks like a Shikyu, and successful demo. So I overwrite both ice to install. I installed the Chum. I think I installed the Chum on R&D, which is doesn't make any sense except I wanted to get rid of the knights. But yeah, that Chum is it's pretty funny. It just hopefully doesn't start running. Hopefully it doesn't drop a keyhole right now. That would be pretty horrible. Ooh, so he gets a Crypsis down, so he's gonna try and avoid successful demo from being triggered here. By just paying with money to get through any server. Okay, so I definitely use this archive memory now to get that Trick of Light back. Yeah, that's the play for sure. And I do think I have to worry about Keyhole here. And I have no defense against Keyhole. But I didn't have any cards in hand to defend against Keyhole either, so I just have to... Oh, that worried me. I thought he was dropping the Keyhole. So it looks like he doesn't have... If he had Keyhole, he would have certainly played it right now. Play it, put a token on Crypsis and Keyhole, and just see what shakes out. And if I'm lucky, I'll draw something like an Ice Wall. Where'd those Himitsu Bakus go, by the way? One of them must be on R&D still. I didn't discard them, did I? Yeah, they must be on R&D. Is that 2 Himitsu Bakus up there? Alright, so I using the Trick of Light this turn to get rid of some of these Tenon tokens. Score at the Brain Trust. So the other agenda in hand is a Medical Breakthrough. And none of those are scored, so to Trick of Light that out of hand, I need another Tenon token and 2 Trick of Lights. But I'm just a Trick of Light away and another 3-2 for the win. Oh my god. Here comes the Keyhole. I think I might have remembered this from this game. So I'm not going to res it because it would cost like 3 to res a Chum that does nothing. And, oh, I always screw that up. I try and put the cards in the camera, but it was a little bit too high there. Anyway, he trashes the Trick of Light, which is actually pretty devastating. Yeah, well, I saw 2 Trick of Lights in the trash and an Archive memory. So that is a Grim, a Snowflake, and he trashes the Grim. So not seeing agendas, getting lucky here. And there's the NAPD contracts and archives too, so this keyhole is really gonna hurt me if I don't do anything about it soon. Okay. Oh yeah, right thing there. He trashes an archive memory. So I think that's 2 archive memory and 2 trick of lights in the trash. That means there's only 2 more cards. And I also have the Jackson Howard that I could use to get those back. So I only need I need the second Brain Trust or the 1 Philotic to finish this out. Oh, that was lucky. So I drew the 3rd trick of light right there before it could get keyholed. And I think I'm thinking of putting that Caprice down to block the keyholes. I need ice first. I need some... Oh, that's perfect. I'm not going to be able to res it, though. Oh, I screwed that up. I think I screwed that up. Maybe not. I think I screwed that up. I'm not going to be able to res that ice. Yeah, he needs to start running in, start keyholing. Okay, so yeah, I'm not screwing this part up at least, so we're going to do Caprice. Okay.
Is that for just revealing?
This is for success. The run is not...
So on the first Caprice, with Caprice at this point, when you only have 2 money left, the runner is usually thinking that you don't want to spend money. But I have the trick of lights in hand, or sorry, the successful demo. So I think it would be worth it here for me to spend 1. I think 1 is the right number. Just because then I can still trigger both successful demos I have in hand. If I'm lucky, he'll spend 2. Well, he won't spend 2.
I'm gonna take 2 credits.
Sorry, just saw it out the corner of my eye.
Yeah, thanks.
Alright, this is a longer side game, but... Oh, so that worked out hugely in my favor. So I spent 1, he spent 2. And I don't think I want to go anywhere lower. I'm moving those successful demo. Ooh, he should definitely keep keyholing. I would not spend any more on the Caprice. But she did her job. She got me a Tenon token. So I think that was a misplay. I drew a card for some reason. I could have just taken a credit and played 2 success. I think what I was... Okay, I think I understand why I did that. Is if I drew some sort of cheap ice, I might have just played the ice instead. But I don't know. I think it might have been worth it to keep playing the Caprice side game to dodge those. Oh, he's building up econ right now. I don't know. Maybe, you know, he's thinking, oh, I have money now and I could res that ice, and I don't know, but I'm not going to res the chum, right? Okay, so he's setting up for another siphon here. And, okay, yeah, I just drew what I needed. So I drew a Brain Trust, and I have a Trick of Light in hand that I drew before. So I think that win was a little bit of good luck there. Dodging the keyholes, basically. Oh yeah, though, there was a Swordsman. I forgot I replaced a chum. Yeah, anyway, I should have triggered both successful demos on that turn. So a bit of luck there on the draw towards the end of the game, but also I think I just kind of got too many Tenon tokens that game. Yeah, I didn't usually, like in some games with aggressive runners like Gabe and Andromeda, I usually have to get an Ice Wall and advance it a little bit because they get into my servers so often. But it's a little bit harder for Reyna, especially not having any breakers out in the early part of the game. So that is a win, and we're going to be moving on to round 6 after this. So the final round of Swiss, and then we'll find out if I'm lucky enough to get into the top 16 cut.